Hello everyone, welcome to this object-oriented programming with Python series, and we are discussing polymorphism, and we are discussing the four different methods that we can or that are associated with this polymorphism. Today we will discuss what is operator overloading and how we can use it in Python. We will start right from very basic examples, and then we'll take it to the objects and classes. So suppose that we have two variables. The first one is a, and the second one is b. And in a, let's say I will just go ahead and store a value of 5, and in b I will store the value of 10. Now this 5 and this 10, they are integers, right? And because of them, the type of this a and b, this is also integer. Now what happens when I will just go ahead and I will print out a plus b? Now, first of all, we have to understand that what is this expression actually. Here, a and b, both of them are operands, and this plus here is called operator. And whenever we will use these operators in Python, these operators actually mean something, and that meaning has been defined at the backend by the creator of this Python programming, right? So in this case, we have the data type of this A as integer and the data type of B as integer as well. And this expression shows that we are adding two integers. When we talk about integers or strings or float or something like that, we are actually talking about classes because these are classes. If you just go ahead and write int here, and after that you just press dot, here you can see these are all the methods that are present inside this int class, right? For example, we have this float, we have floor, flags, gt is greater than, and exactly, similarly we have other sorts of methods like round and r power and etc. So whenever we talk about integers and then we use plus here, then this plus actually means that okay, go to this class integer, and from this class call add method, right? So this plus operator is defined to call this add method from this integer class when both of these variables are integers, right? And after this calling this method, all we have to do is give it two variables a and b. I will just simply go ahead and comment this line, and I will save this program and I will run this program here, and the answer of a plus b is 15. Now, if I just go ahead and comment this out and uncomment this, and I will just print the result of this, we will see that the output of this line is exactly the same as the above line. Here you can see it also yields 15. So that means whenever we use integers and then we use plus operator in between them, then what we actually are doing is from that integer class we are calling add function. Similarly, if we just go ahead and write minus here, then we will not call add, we will actually call sub function, and the answer will be exactly the same. Now, all of this has been defined by the creator of Python at the back end, right? So, let's say if I just go ahead and change the type of my variable, I will first it was integers, and let's say I convert it into strings. Now, I will just go ahead and write add here. But this time, because we have both of the variables as strings, of course, we will not go to the class string, we will go to the class str, right? Now, when we will use plus inside it, and let's say I will just comment this line out, and I will uncomment this, and I will save this program, and I will run this. Hey, here you can see this time this plus didn't mean that it had to add all of these variables. Instead, this plus meant to concatenate them, right? And how did we know that we have to concatenate? Because we are dealing with the strings this time, right? So instead of adding, it just concatenated 5 and 10. And if you just uncomment this and comment this and run this program, here you can see Again, 510 has been printed out, and both of the variables have been concatenated to each other instead of being added. So, I mean, it has same methods, but because this time we are using string, then the meaning of this plus has been changed. Now, this meaning has been defined at the backend, right? To all the classes that are built-in classes like integers and strings and float and whatnot, right? But as soon as let's say, I mean, I hope until now it's clear. But what if, let's say, I create my own class? I mean, this is not a built-in class. This is something I have created. Let's say it's a student class, and in this class, I will create a constructor, and in this constructor, I want two variables, m1 and m2, and I will say self dot m1 is equal to m1, and self dot m2 is equal to m2, right? So what I want is I want to create the object s1 from the student, and I want to take two numbers and I want to add it. Let's say I have created this object here, and then I have created another object here, let's say, and this time I would say 50 plus 30. That's it. Now, what if I want to add both of these? I will say s1 plus s2 should be equal to s3. I will just save this program and I will run this. Now here you can see we have an error which is called type error. But what is the error? We have unspotted operand types for plus student and student. That means we don't know, or our program doesn't know that what is the type of these s1 and s2, and what is the purpose of this class, because this time this class is not built in. We have to define the meaning of this plus, right? So what if I just go ahead and write a method here? I will say def add, just like in integer and string, and this time I will use two variables. First one I can call self, and let's call the other one as other. Now what I can do is I can say m1 is equal to self dot m1 plus self dot m2, and m2 is equal to self dot we we use self other dot m1 plus other dot m2. What if and after that, let's just take s3 and m1 plus m2, and after that just return your s3, right? So now if I just go ahead and I will try to print my s3, we'll see that what happens. I'll just run this program. Yeah, you can see this time it actually added all these values, right? And this time it didn't give us any kind of, I would say, error saying that this operand or operator is unsupported. Because this time we actually, what we did is we defined our plus inside of our class, that okay, whenever we will call this plus operator, our method will do all of this. So we have defined our variable. So this is called operator overloading. You can define it as as you like. I mean, instead of, let's say, uh, adding them, you could write subtract them, for example, right? You could say this, and if we just save this program, and now whenever you will call plus, so this time instead of adding everything, it will subtract everything. So in your class you have defined your operator. So this is called operator overloading, right? I'll just simply go ahead and add or replace all the minus with the plus again. And this time what I want to do is I want to create another method. Let's say if I just comment this out, what if I want to compare both of my objects? I can say s1 is greater than s2. If that's true, then print uh, S1, let's say. Otherwise, else just go ahead and print S2. Okay, if I just go ahead and I will run this program, here you can see again it gave me an type error. It said that this operator is not supported because I did not define this in my student class. If you were talking about integers or floats or string and whatnot, uh, in that case, because at the back end the creator has defined this operator, this greater than operator, for integers or float, then in that case it will not give any kind of error. I mean, just like here. But in our case, we have created a new class and we haven't defined this operator here. That's why it's giving us this error. So what I will do, I'll just quickly go ahead and create another method called GT. So GT means greater than, and here what I will do, I will simply call two variables. We can call self, and this other one we can just simply call other. Now what I will do, I mean, we have to define this operator here because when so when we used this operator for integer or for float or something, then at the back end, the creator of Python has defined the meaning of this integer or this operator. But in our case, we are creating a new class here. So in order for this operator to work in for our class, we have to define the meaning of it inside our class, right? So what I can do is we can create a variable called n1, and here you can say self dot m1 plus self dot m2, and here you can create another variable called self dot other dot m1 plus other dot m2, right? And after that, sorry, here we can say n2. So after that, we will use if operator. We can say if n1 is greater than n2, then return true. Otherwise, just go ahead and return false. So if n1 is greater than n2, then it will be true, and as a result, s1 will be printed out. I'll just simply go ahead and reduce the spaces, and in case the result will be false, then s2 will be printed out. Let's just simply save this program, and now if we'll just return this program, here you can see this time this operator did not return any kind of error because now we have defined it. But the question is, I mean, this operator didn't work for S1 and S2 because these were objects. But why this operator worked here? Because here N1 and N2, they are the numbers, they are the values that are stored in the objects. And here they are simply the objects. But when we define this operator for the values of these objects, now as a result, this operator will also work for these objects, right? So here we can see 50 plus 13 is 63, sorry, and 45 plus 6 is 51. And because s2 is greater, that means s2 will be printed out, and here you can see s2 has been printed out. So that's how you can define your operators for your custom classes, and this is called operator overloading, and that is related to polymorphism. So I hope you have learned a lot from this video, and I hope that in the next videos you will get familiar with method overloading and method overriding that are also related to polymorphism. Goodbye.